Hello, I'm James Brooks of Robust Flow Operations. In the last video, we looked at a real-world process map from one of my clients, an insurance company that had 4 days of work in Microsoft Excel every week, checking for errors before paying commissions on Friday. In my business of helping companies untangle their data headaches so that they can profitably scale their data work, Excel rears its head an awful lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a great, versatile tool, but often teams use it in place of other data systems because those aren't working for them for one reason or another. The workarounds in Excel get you there, but at the cost of perpetual manual effort and a greater risk of mistakes. With this sort of attention to the operations laid out in process maps, we can often find solutions to the problems that drove the team to use Excel in the first place. So as you map out your current state process map and you envision your ideal state process map, the team will have surfaced several improvements that can get you closer to the ideal state. But how to choose which improvement to start with? There is a strategy to follow here, but first I want to talk about the resistance you're likely to find. There are two common types of resistance. The first is skepticism that any improvements can be found. You might hear someone say, I've been doing this for 10 years. If there was a better way, I'd be doing that. You may also get pushback about wasting time, particularly if a team feels they're underwater. They've already got too much on their plate. They might view this exercise as a waste of hours that they could otherwise put into getting work done. Now that's a cycle you're going to need to break out of. The best method I've found to combat both types of resistance is to start with a small win. To choose that small win, we first need to look at all of the ideas that have come up and rate them in a few different dimensions. For each improvement idea, you estimate the benefit that will come from it in financial terms. If the savings is in labor, it's easy to convert that into a dollar savings. If the improvement is in freeing up a bottleneck and allowing more to be accomplished, you have to put more thought into how you're going to value that. You also need to estimate how much investment the improvement needs. There's always some time that goes into piloting a change, and there may or may not be hard costs if you need to buy some physical tool or software or anything else. The other two important factors are timeline, or how long it will take to test and see results, and dependence, how much will other people or parts of the process be impacted by this change. So now you have a list of improvement ideas and need to decide on how to take them on. Here's my recipe for a quick win. Start with a small pilot project with a team that's at least somewhat open-minded. And for your first improvement, pick something small. You do not have to swing for the fences. What you pick should have results able to be seen immediately. If one of your ideas is to improve how you generate some annual report, don't start with that, since you won't even be able to see if it helped until next January. You want to pick something that can show improvement in days or weeks. One other factor is how much this effort is intertwined with the rest of your operation. Choose one that doesn't have any effects on other parts of the system. For example, if one improvement would require changing out a key software system that touches many parts of the work, don't choose that one as a quick win. Leave that one for later, once you've got buy-in that this approach works. As you pilot change ideas, keep in mind that there will be kinks to work out. The important thing is to be able to show that, yes, we did find an improvement, and it did make the work we've been doing for years a little better. Once people see this, they're open to the idea that improvement is possible after all, even in work they've been doing for years. And then they're willing to put more time into finding other improvements. And if you got one very resistant team, once they start seeing that another team's work is getting easier, they will start to come around to trying improvements themselves. So you want to share the progress across the company. Like maybe if you have an all-hands meeting, this would be a great thing to share. This video series has been only the briefest overview of operations, but it should give you a start. The key is to dive deeper into the work than you usually do during boardroom discussions. Process mapping is a useful tool to gain an understanding of what the operations look like. It can give you a clear picture of where you are, where you want to be, and specific steps of how to get from here to there. At each step, you'll be improving your bottom line and your ability to grow the business. If the improvements are for the delivery of the service, your cost of goods sold go down. If the improvements are made to a back office function, your operating costs go down. I often talk about the dramatic improvements I've seen where over half the effort is saved, but as JP demonstrated in his video, even a modest 5% improvement in cost of goods sold and 5% improvement in operating costs when paired with incremental improvements on the sales side can lead to the bottom line profit more than doubling. If you have further questions, feel free to post them or to reach out. I'd really love to hear how your experiments go. Thank you.